So I just think this is so cool. This is now the second or third time that you've been selected to be the team physician.
Third, but my second time with this team, and the first time I went was to Sochi. I went with the Olympic Committee, which was a really cool gig as well. But I was a team doctor with this team, but they had someone else that was going to be like with the team in the village, and I went with the Olympic Committee. So I went to a place called the USA House, which is like a hospitality house, and it's out of control, so cool, great place, but you're not embedded with the team. So way better to travel. That was really cool. Super awesome to travel with the team.
So how familiar are you with the athletes that are returning for a second quad?
They're my patients. Yeah, I've known them in some cases. Literally, there's a few of them on the team I've known since my first trip, which was in 2010, 2011. They were on that team. So I've literally been their doctor for that long. So it's extreme. It's like a family. There's some of the patients I know the best in the world, if you will. But they're my people. They're great.
How is that an advantage when it comes to treating them as not just athletes, but as patients?
I think most of what I get to do with these guys, to be totally honest with you, is to become sort of a source of reassurance and comfort, and almost like they kind of joke that I'm at times a team mom, and that's a lot of what we do because they're very healthy. It's not like I'm constantly treating them for things, right? But when they do get injured or something does happen, like COVID questions and such, it's really great that we have a base of trust and they understand that not only have I never tried to hurt them, I'm completely on their side and I would do anything to try to help them fulfill their dreams. And they know that. So I'm already starting 3 steps ahead with that trust.
That's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
awesome.
think about how these teams get compiled. And I mean, I don't know what it's like for different countries or different teams within Team USA, but I mean, to have that knowledge base, I think my dad's a doctor. So like knowing your patients as opposed to getting somebody brand new that you have to now treat in a high pressure situation is, a lot.
Yeah, it's priceless. Honestly, Chris, it's priceless. The sad thing, actually, interestingly, and they know, I've said this to all them too, but we want everyone to make the team, and obviously they can't. And so there's at times you're heartbroken because someone you know really well didn't make the team, but and there's certainly new people here and there. But again, the core group of the team I've known for such a long time, and that translates forward to the rest of the players that, oh, this is our doc. And honestly, our medical team, we added Wayne this year, and I'm thrilled. He's an awesome addition because his calm demeanor, his very talented, skilled side, the players already knew him. They specifically mentioned his name when I was asking who should we add. But the other 4 members of our medical team are the same that went to Pyeongchang. So it's a very stable group. It's a group that knows each other really well. We're very, very, very lucky.
That's awesome. She's asking for a waffle. I'll be right back.
Hit it.
Sorry about that. Well, so let's dive right into that. I mean, you mentioned Wayne. Let's look at this for a second. How many members of Team USA women's hockey hail from Maine? I mean, the sports medicine contingent is huge.
I know, it's actually awesome. We when I first got connected a few years ago, it turned out that at the time the director had ties to me as well. Had gone to Colby, family at a summer home. Parents are from Rumford, so that was an easy connection. And then as we kept doing events, we kept gravitating back towards things in the Northeast. And so there were most years we'd do an event at UNE, and Wayne would just pull out all the stops. I mean, it was always a classy event, and we had everything we needed. And he had, his best students, if you will. He would bring them, and they would be super willing to do whatever needed to be done. And the athletes felt that. And Wayne and I have worked together on other events for a long time, so I know his high quality care, just quality human. So when we were looking at this, it was a really natural fit. And why, it's unique that we're both from Maine, but it's not surprising to us. This team is great.
What does that say about the quality of sports medicine practice in our state?
I hope it says I hope it says that we represent well, and that we on a big stage can be very effective, and that that personalized care that we all enjoy, which is something I think people who live in Maine enjoy and want. We all want to be part of the community, and I think people feel that. And so it's easy to it's easy to act like that in your job in Maine and then just provide that for USA Hockey, and everybody loves it. So I think it speaks really well for us.
It's awesome. What is it like for you to return to the Olympics now for the third time and the second time in this role?
Well, it's different this time, Chris. If not for COVID, it'd be a simple, oh my gosh, I can't wait. This is so awesome. And I still, actually, to be honest, yesterday, one of my partners at InterMed said, how are you feeling? I'm like, actually, I feel great. I feel like we're ready. A lot of the stress is off of us because our entire push was to get to the point of a COVID test that was negative 72 hours out. And then you get clearance from China to travel, and they call it the green pass. And as soon as you have your green pass, you are golden. And so once that happened, there's been a lot of, concern over the last couple months, right? This is a great sigh of relief. Just, all right, guys, we're going to China. This is amazing. And so the excitement is building. And my prediction is we're going to peak just at the right time to be super pumped to be there. And honestly, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very special game that we're going to talk about for a long time. It's going to be in some ways lonely, and there'll be things that we can't do as much, but our team needs to really bubble and bond together. And we intend to be standing at the end as far as not having people, lose them to isolation and testing positive. So that's just not our plan. So we're going to be tighter than ever. And I told Wayne, he's going to be completely sick of me when we get back.
Yeah, exactly. You'll only ever see each other. I do want to ask you about that. I mean, it's very hard to ignore. We talked about it with athletes that went to Tokyo, and now that I've talked with athletes going to Beijing, the ones from Maine, a lot of them, that is their main concern, is not catching COVID. And I can imagine that comes from two places. One, not wanting to get sick, but two, you've worked so hard for 4 years to get to this place. You want to be able to compete. Have your athletes talked with you about that at all over the past couple of days?
Oh, every few hours, we comes up. It's been a lot of talk, Chris. A lot of talk about. I would say our team has built up a real confidence, in a sense, not arrogance, confidence. They know how to wear a mask. They know how to keep themselves distanced from other people. They know how to bond together as a team and to sort of use, all of the protective things we know about with hand washing and not touching your face. They're very skilled at that. Today we'll get on a charter plane, and so it'll be just Team USA people. That's shows us the commitment that the USOPC has to us as well, which feels good. And then when we get to the village, we each have individual rooms, but they're like kind of apartment style. They're not so like 4 to 5 people in an apartment, but your own space. So like they're trying really hard to make it possible to get through this games without COVID, and that's entirely our plan. But I'm not going to say that we don't worry about it at times.
Right, absolutely. Hey, you've got 2 current University of Maine players on your team. I mean, when you look at the ratio of people with Maine connections to U.S. women's hockey, how does that feel to feel like our state is so well represented?
Wait, quick question: is that the men's team? Is that the men's team? I don't know of anybody of my team who went to Maine.
There are 2. Boy, you know what? My colleague Sam Rogers is the one who's interviewed them, and he knows their names. Oh, you know what? I've misspoken. They play for different countries. I want to say they play for Finland.
Yeah,
and Sweden.
That's it. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
So then my last question for you was this.
Sure.
Actually, no. I mean, how's that feel? That's not my last question. How's it feel to have, you're going to have other people with Maine ties that you play against?
It's awesome.
That's kind of cool.
It's awesome. Oh, I mean, this is an international stage. It's fantastic. That's the coolest thing about the Olympics. And when you walk into, we know the players from Finland, we know the players from Canada, and when you walk in and they say, oh, where are you from? And you say, I'm from Maine. There's always someone who knows someone from Maine, or vacations there, or, oh, I was there once and I love it. Maine gives people a very good feel. So yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm very proud that we have that high quality showing up on this big stage.
And that was really one of the main things I wanted to ask you kind of at the end, because I asked Wayne about this. From a rivalry perspective, are you looking forward to rematching with Canada in the gold?
Oh,
at some point, hopefully the gold medal game.
Absolutely. Yeah, those games are the best. We are on target. We are like ready to rock. Our medical team gets just as excited. Their medical team gets just as excited. They have a phenomenal team, staff behind their team. Obviously, their players are phenomenal. So we know when we go up against them, we're playing the best. and they feel the same, and that feels awesome. Like how could you ever say you're the best if you don't beat the best? We've got to play the best. It's just so exciting. We are completely jazzed when that happens. So we can't wait to play them.
That's awesome. Doc, you have been so extremely generous with your time. I know you got a million things to do. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you want people back home to know about what this experience is going to be like for you?
You know, the one thing that's so important, I'll be honest, Chris, when I can't do this without my family. And I know that sounds so cliche, but man, my husband, Dave, and my 3 kids, they have supported me the whole way through this for 12 years now with this team. These are my vacations that I'm taking. These are, time away from the office. My partners are covering. My patients are great. They understand that I'm going. They're excited. So just want to give credit to everybody because that's helped me get here. I could never do this on my own. And that's a really, it feels really special that people, like I'm the team behind the team. There's a team behind me, and there's, many layers. So I'm just so appreciative that even that you took time this morning to actually ask about this event. So I just think we can't lose when we got this much love behind us.
Well, we're obviously all rooting for you, and we wish you the best. Good luck. My daughter.
Thanks.
My daughter.
USA, USA, USA. You're going to learn it this month.